What is good, y'all? It is Friday, man, and I'm beyond happy. How are you today, Barry? What's good with you?
Man, not a whole lot. I'm doing great, man. I'm happy to be here with you. It's been a minute since we did this, man. So I'm always happy to join you and talk some hoops.
It is. It's been a long while, man. I'm glad we could get back on. It was a lot of games at first, and now you see teams dwindling down, and now we're at the Final Four.
Yeah.
Quick question, man.
How's the playoffs been treating you before we get into it?
As of lately, just damn good. Really, really good. I've been taking house money more recently with the Clippers and the Hawks. So it's been good, man. It has been really damn good. I cannot complain about how the playoffs have been. Even, I'd made money in the play-ins. I'd made money first and second round. I made a little bit of money off the Jazz. I didn't lose too much. I think about it, man. So all in all, it's been pretty good. What about you? How have you done?
Overall, it's been pretty good, man. I started off real hot. Through the play-in was profitable, just about break even in those few games, and round one was really good to me. Most of round two was, but I just stayed too bullish on the Sixers and the Nets both. So last week, the end of those series, I got hit pretty good. But overall, I'm up in the playoffs, so I can't complain too much. Just gotta learn from it and move on. But I'm kind of a Hawks fan, so I'm loving how well they've been playing. But I was bullish on the Sixers against them in that series.
Wow.
For several reasons. I just didn't believe the Hawks would, could actually get it done. And I thought, even against Doc Rivers in a Game 7, I thought the curse of Atlanta sports would be stronger than Doc Rivers Game 7. But, you live and learn. We're here now.
I don't know why I was so bullish on the Hawks. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you why. We'll just step right into this game. I'm going to tell you, personally, I had seen how they played against New York. And if you were to tell me who was the harder teams, I think they faced the hardest teams the previous series, if that makes sense. So defensively, if you ask me, I thought New York was the hardest defense that they would face against Philly 76ers, even though Philly's the better team. And now that they've beaten Philly, I feel like Philly's the better team, a little more better than Milwaukee. And it just seems like the path has gotten a little easier. So, man, I had taken Atlanta. I think Atlanta, if anything, has made me a lot of money in the postseason. I think they have made me a lot of money. I don't know why the lines aren't adjusting for them, Barry. I have no idea, bro. But I have made an extremely a lot of money, a good amount of money with Atlanta, taking money line, or they're just covering that spread. Yep. So we see the last game, man. That's what we have tonight. We have Game 2, Atlanta at Milwaukee. We saw how Game 1 went down. I'll tell you this: you took Atlanta Game 1, right?
I did, yeah. I took the points. I didn't. You took the points and the money line, right?
I did.
I wish I had the balls to sprinkle something on the money line with you, man. But no, I just took the points, man. I was very happy with that result. It was a good win, and in hindsight, well, we can get into all this in a minute. But yeah, man, it was we won Game 1. I was happy with it.
Now, if you look back at that, Atlanta shooting 49, 25, and 88 that game. Milwaukee is abysmal, 46, 22, and 79. Now, we're trying to think that probably isn't going to carry over. Mark, Boz, what's up, man? Appreciate y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Good to see y'all. Thanks for the support. What I think the reason why the books have made this line -8 again, there's a couple of ways you can look at it. Well, the main reason why is they just may not be convinced that Milwaukee is going to be that bad again, nor are they going to shoot that bad. So maybe that's one of the reasons why also. Now the books have been getting, if anything, they've been getting hammered as of late. Or I'm sorry, and then they turned it around and started making their money back. And then I had a buddy I was speaking with yesterday saying maybe it's almost time right now where that book is going to give back that money again because the public is bound to hit one, right? So do you think that is potentially what's going to happen in tonight's game? Or do you think that Atlanta could win?
I think it certainly could happen. I mean, it could be one of those games where, we've seen it with this Milwaukee team for the last 3 years, where they suffer an embarrassing loss, especially a loss at home, and they come out, on fire with incredible energy, and they just dust whoever it is that they're playing at home. And I'm expecting Milwaukee to come out to a good start. I think they could very easily be up at least by 5 to 10 first quarter, 5 to 10 first half. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't trust this Bucks team to cover 8.5 now. So I think we see a good effort from the Bucks, especially early. I think their shooting definitely improves. I don't think Middleton can possibly shoot any worse. But with that being said, over the course of the full game, and especially in the second half, I trust the Hawks so much more than I trust this Bucks team. And even after the Nets series, like I'm honestly less convinced after that Nets series that the Bucks are a championship team than I was before the Nets series, if that makes sense. Like after they whooped up on Miami, they looked great, but throughout that entire Nets series was just ugly, man. Like they played maybe one solid good game in that series, and the rest of it was just ugly. And credit to them, they got it done. But I'm lower on the Bucks than I think the general market consensus is, and I think than most people are. And I think there's a lot of holes that the Hawks can exploit with this team.
Barry, my boy Sosa says Bucks were still drunk, not just hungover. I don't know how to gauge this game really, and I guess that's the reason why I haven't raced to the window. First off, the model has this line, same number as the last game, -5.5, actually to Milwaukee. So Milwaukee is not going to cover again. And here we see this line at -8. So we look at the numbers, over 70% are on Atlanta, right? So this is a public side, if you will. And over 60% of the money is on the under, right? So is this the payout the books are going to give the public if that's the case? I don't know. That's just me being an overthinker, Barry. So when I look at this, I'm saying this was the same kind of setup where Milwaukee had played Miami and they had shot, I want to say it was 5 for 31 from the three. And then the next game, which they still won, they barely won that game, but they still won even shooting. Or was it Miami that won by just 2 points or something like that?
No,
one of the two.
The Bucks won in overtime. Middleton hit a game winner in OT, and then game 2 they came out and just blew the doors off.
They blew, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of that same scenario to where that they have the capacity to not have 2 bad shooting nights, right? But just if we're going to kind of weigh it, what we saw Trae Young do, they had no answer. They had absolutely no answer for what this dude was doing, man.
Yeah.
No answer. So what adjustments do you make for that, right? I mean, he's putting up 40. Collins is putting up 23. How do you have an answer for 2 bigs that give you 15 and 19 boards? Right? Now We're talking about going head to head. And I just don't see still how Milwaukee matches up with this team very well. I don't see it, man. Because even if you make the adjustment and you play Trey at the half court line, right? Or you're going to make a commitment to double. Well, first off, then you're asking PJ Tucker or Portis or whomever to do extra, or make an extra effort on their rotations and their help defense, right? So that's going to be tired legs really fast. But if someone doubles Trey, you better believe it leaves someone like Danilo or Herter open. You know what I'm saying, man? So it's like pick your fucking poison. So now you don't double them, right? You're just going to say, oh, we just hope these guys who are good 3-point shooting team misses their threes. But if you play them one-on-one, then once again, you've got everyone dropping, dude. Everyone dropping because they don't want to foul Trey.
Yeah.
So it becomes just a chess match at that point.
And you're right. I mean, that seems like how that was their plan for, throughout most of game one, is that they almost seemed like they were just willing to, try to force Trey to beat them, basically. Let him get his, and then but I mean, and he did, obviously it worked. I think the Sixers did a good job in that last series on Trey, despite the overall result. I think, I think if the Bucks decide to double him, put more pressure on him at the point of attack, especially, they may end up having a better night here, especially if the rest of the Hawks, can't really get into a rhythm. But at the end of the day, it's just I wouldn't be shocked if the Bucks end up having a similar performance to that game 2 versus the Heat. But it's not something I would bet on. Like I wouldn't lay the points with Milwaukee here, trusting them to do it. And the Hawks just simply aren't scared of them too. You know what I mean?
Not.
Like the Hawks seem like they have no pressure at all on them.
It's so the only I did hear some comments, man, just kind of reading on just the analysis of the game, and it was like every time the Bucks had gotten about that 7-8 point lead, there would be some bad officiating or a loose whistle, something that just really would control and turn the tempo of the game. So I did see some kind of questionable calls, right? But I honestly didn't see anything that showed me that Milwaukee can honestly stop Atlanta. I just don't see it. I just think there's just too many adjustments that can be made. So Mike Budenholzer, the king of adjustments, is going to try to do something here. You've always heard, Giannis at the 5. You did see him be put at the 5 pretty early, but that also caused him to come a little further out to the charity stripe. He did get baited out by Trey. Trey shot a 3, and he gives him that little face brush. That was actually a foul, So it's weird how they're playing the game. The thing is, Trey can't put you in jail, and if he puts you in jail, then that's a foul. So people don't like to get behind him, and that's why you're seeing this drop. And if that's the case, what else are you going to do, Barry? I just don't see what else you can do with that. Do I see them containing Trey today? To a certain degree, maybe, yeah. But then do I see Danilo? Do I see Herter? Do I even see a little bit of Lemon Pepper Lou come in here and just kind of add a little bit of extra? Yeah, man, all day. So what do you think about that under?
But I ended up playing the under. And it's one of those too where I think if I like it for a couple of reasons. One, because modeling this game, I make it around like 222, 223. These teams are playing at a slower pace than I think what's anticipated in this matchup, and I think game 2 pace, I believe, will be slower. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but I make this one around 222, 223. So I think there's some value on the under, and I think I think it's worth a play, in my opinion. Now, that being said, if the Bucks have the kind of regression to the mean type of shooting night like they are capable of, the Hawks are knocking down shots too. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if this thing flew over, but I just don't see it happening that way.
Yeah, good look there. Sosa's saying Bogdan at only 10.5, he's got to be hurt.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good point too. I mean, that
mhm.
that definitely is going to limit the scoring, and I mean, he seemed like he could barely move in game one,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah. I mean, you didn't need him, but that of course Bog promotes a big problem. But that's why I only shot out the names Gallinari and Herter, right? And you still the thing is, I think what's hurting the Bucks bad, and people don't realize it, are the boards, man. And you would think that Giannis is going to grab his boards, but the boards are hurting him. They're hurting him bad. Those defensive boards, they're just mopping up on him, man. I look at these stats. Defensive boards for, get it here. What do they have? Defensive boards. 33 to 39. So you had 6 more defensive, but that's one factor of winning the game. So I don't see how you stop that either. I really don't see. So my side is definitely, I am going to take the side and play Atlanta. Very scary, but I'm going to play them now because I think they will get up to a really good start. So I'm going to play Atlanta, and I might look at Atlanta first quarter, and then that's just about it. But Atlanta is my play, the +8, +7.5. I won't be ballsy and go money line, but I do like Atlanta at the +8.
I'm with you, man. I'm on Hawks +8 as well.
Okay.
I'm on the under as well. I disagree with you on first quarter. I think the Bucks probably cover first quarter and first half, but I could be wrong. You are the one who has been hitting Hawks first quarters even back like throughout the regular season. It feels like every time I talk to you, you're on the right side of a Hawks first quarter. So I think we see good energy from the Bucks coming out to start. I think they shoot better. I think they look better. But at the end of the day, I expect the Bucks to win, but I don't trust them to cover. I don't trust them to cover 8. I make this one around. What'd you say your number was? 5.5?
5.5. Yeah, 5.5.
I make it 6. So I think we got some value here with the Hawks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the number didn't do a lot of moving, which is funny. You would think all that money and all the public that's on Atlanta and still not to have that number move at all.
Yeah, it does make it seem a little fishy. But, I just simply like at the root of all this, I don't trust this Bucks team. I believed in them the past 2 years whenever they, got put out by the Raptors in 4 straight after taking a 2-0 lead, and then against the Heat last year. After game 2 versus the Nets this year, I finally surrendered and convinced myself that this fucking Bucks unit are frauds, and so I paid for it. Obviously, the rest of that series, but I still I just can't shake it out of my brain. I don't believe in this team and the way that I look at them. It's just how I see it, man.
Got you.
It's one of those things maybe my brain's just broken. But I finally hit a point where I don't think this team can get it done. I think they get the win tonight, but I think ultimately they win this series too. But I'd put my money on the Suns or Clippers in the finals, assuming that's the matchup.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Well, that's it, man. It was just this one game. Real quick, you look already at the Clippers and Suns tomorrow. It's at +1. Looks like it's +1 Clippers, so that's the same number also.
Yeah, man. I think we both cashed on that one last night too. We're both on Clippers, right?
Absolutely.
I haven't dug into that one yet. My initial lean on it is Clippers again. I do think that the Suns end up winning this series and probably 6. I'm just assuming Kawhi is not coming back. I think the Suns will look a lot better tomorrow, but I don't know. I think We'll see. I got to dig into this one more.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. Right there with you. Well, Barry, we said we was going to keep it short and sweet, man. I really appreciate you taking a little bit of time here to just talk about the game. We are both on Atlanta. The model says that, Milwaukee covers, but they're not going to cover, or Milwaukee wins, but not cover. Excuse me. So we're going to look forward to it, man. I'm going to be watching this game tonight. And, we'll see how it goes, man.
Best of luck. Go Hawks.
Yeah, best of luck, man. Best of luck to you. Hey, everybody, I appreciate you. Thanks for just tapping in real quick with us, just to give you a quick little layup. You know what I'm saying? Back to your regularly scheduled program. We'll leave you with the peace out and best of luck tonight.